Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Generative Geek. Today, I'm going to walk you through Groq AI. Groq is a very interesting LPU. They basically call themselves an LPU, which is Language Processing Unit. It's consider them more like a hosted environment for models, but with a lot of steroids in the sense they have done a lot of optimization on their infra, and therefore these models have very low latency. As AI models tend to become more and more powerful, what will be required is that the latency of these models be low so that real time applications can make use of these calls and give fast responses, right? So Grok is fast AI inference. And the beauty of Grok right now is that if you go to Grok Cloud for developers, so what you have to do is you have to go to grok.com and you can try it for free. So, and you have all these models available. They also have the latest 3.1 70 billion model. So let's just say, what is the benefit of low latency in AI models, right? LLM models. And it quickly responds, right? Look at the speed, right? So it responds like extremely fast, and you can see it says 250 t/s. That means 250 tokens per second. That's the kind of speed we were getting, right? So, and therefore you can look at it how fast these responses came. They also have something called as a Grok Cloud for developers, and right now all of this is free. So all you have to do is create a login for yourself, then go to Grok Cloud, go to the API keys and create an API key, right? So if you create an API key for yourself, you can then make API calls to all these Grok models right now for free, right? So if you go to Playground, or if you go to settings and you go to billing, it says, hey, everything is free right now. Maybe some plans are going to come in near future. Obviously they will come. This is a business, this is not like a charity. But right now everything is free. So while it is free, it is great that, if you come here and start using some of these models, you will see for yourself how these models behave, right? And in the past I have discussed open router. So what you can also do is, if you want to compare the cost, let's say you want to use Mixtral 8x7b, you can come here and say, hey, Mixtral 8x7b instruct, and you can look at the cost, right? So an open router together is the provider. They are charging 54 cents for input and 54 cents for output, million tokens. These guys are charging like 24 cents, right? So if you are getting, like, at half the cost with extremely high throughput, why will you pay double the cost, right? So that's the whole objective here, right? So they also have Whisper available, and they charge like 3 cents per hour of transcriptions, right? Look at the cost, right? So 172x better speeds. And today my goal is to help you get set up with Grok, and then we'll also use Grok to quickly transcribe some YouTube video, right? And see, you will see for yourself what kind of speeds we are talking about here. So let's get started, right? And we are going to make use of Colab. So get yourself a Collab account if you already don't have. I keep getting a few comments saying, hey, can you do this in VS Code? We can obviously do it on VS Code, but Collab is much more easier to manage, especially for videos like these. And therefore, I pick Collab. If you are only following for the demo purposes, you can use Collab. But if you want to use in production, or for your own hobby projects or your own development, you can do the same thing with the VS Code as well. Like, the method usually remains the same. So let's get started. So I'm in my collab notebook. I'm going to quickly rename this, and I'm going to share this notebook as well. So I'm saying Grok AI demo. That will be the name of my notebook. And what we will then do is we'll quickly get started with installing some of the necessary libraries that we need for this thing to do well, right? So what are the various libraries that we need? I'll first start with LangChain. So I'll say LangChain hyphen Grok. Grok is integrated in LangChain. So, if you install LangChain Grok, you will get Grok capabilities through LangChain as well, right? Next, what I'll also suggest is that if you are in Collab, you should set yourself a Grok API key. I have it here. In the last step during the intro, I was demoing how you can get yourself an API key. So get yourself an API key, and once you have the API key, just paste the API key here and get yourself this. Create a new secret, add the secret name here in this box, and then the value with the variable in the other box, and grant the permission, right? So that is how you get set up with the tokens, with the secrets. So I've just given the access of Grok API key to this notebook. Now I'll come back to the notebook. Our libraries are all installed. Let's get started, right? So I'll say import OS, and then we'll say from LangChain underscore Groq import, sorry, from LangChain underscore Groq import chat Groq, right? So this is how you get started with LangChain. And as far as Groq is concerned, then we are going to say from LangChain underscore Groq underscore code dot prompts import chat prompt template, right? So I'm importing chat prompt template. That will become our way of accessing Groq. I'm going to make first a very simple API call, set up API key for Groq, right? So because my key is available in Collab, I'm saying google.collab import user data, and then we are saying os.environ Groq underscore API underscore key is equal to user data dot get. What is happening here is that we are setting an environment variable and we are calling it Groq underscore API underscore key, and we are fetching the value from this secret manager, right? So now this becomes more like an environment variable. We could have just set any variable and given this value to the variable, but this is probably, I just picked whatever Collab AI was giving me. I find that it's giving the right suggestion, so I'm not messing with it or interfering with it. uh, Now let's just say initialize the chat Groq model. So I'm just going to say I'm on a new keyboard today, so pardon my keyboard typing today. There are some mispresses on the key, and that's all because of the new keyboard, right? So I'm setting chat Groq temperature is 0. That means don't hallucinate, and we are going to give it a model name, right? Uh, Now I know that it has a llama model available, so I'm going to just take the llama model for now. But we can even take, let's say, for ease of use, let's just pick first the Mixtral model, right? So I've taken the Mixtral model, and then with this, my chat is available now. Like it's instantiated. I'll now say what is the prompt. Um, Prompt is very simple. It's a chat prompt template from messages, and we'll pass in the system message and the human message to it. So messages is equal to, I'm saying, I don't want, yeah, um, and we'll say system, you are a helpful assistant who understands the world of AI, right? So next we are going to give it the human input, and we are saying human will pass in whatever is our input here, right? So that becomes that is how you call, you make the prompt. Next I'm going to make a very simple chain. I'm going to say, hey, prompt goes to chat here is the LLM, basically, look at it that way. And now I want to quickly, just to show you, I want to start logging the time, right? So I'm going to say import time, and I'm going to have a start time, which is nothing but time.time. Start underscore time is equal to time.time, and I'm going to have an end underscore time, which is, sorry, no, end underscore time should come after the invocation. So I'm going to say response is equal to chain dot invoke, and we are going to pass some input here. So we're going to say input colon, oops, um, explain the importance of low latency in LLM responses, right? So I'm going to pass it the same thing. Then we'll come down and we'll say end underscore time is equal to time.time. We are saying response is response.content and time taken is this. And let's just run it, right? So I'm running it now. The response should have gone to chat Groq. And look at the latency. It just took half a second to respond, right? It took a lot of time to for the cell to run, but for as far as this block of code is concerned, right, it only took half a second, right? So it says in the context of AI, low latency refers to amount of time it takes for a system to respond and all of that, blah blah blah, right? So look at it, guys, like how fast this response came, right? And I can even prompt, let's say, or let's just first let me walk you through how you can figure out which all models are available, right? So one of the thing is that we need to understand which all models are available. I'm just going to bring the code from my other notebook here. So what we are doing here is we are importing OS, we are importing LangChain Groq. We have the same things imported. Then we are saying, we are setting the Groq API key. We have the chain, all of that. Next, execution time. I'm sorry, I think I just pasted whatever I had in my previous cell. I'm trying to show you um, how to find what are the various models that are available in Grok, right? So if you look at this, I'm importing OS and request, and we have a method here which is called get Grok models, right? This thing, what it is doing is it is making a call, HTTPS call to this endpoint, api.grok.com/openai/v1/models, and authorization is what it is sending our API key as part of the authorization header, and you get the response back, right? So when you look at the response, and we are then calling models is equal to get Grok models, and then we are finally looping through all the models that are available, and we are printing out, right? So let's just print out what all models are available. You can see we have Gamma 2, 9 billion models that is available. We have the Gamma 7 billion models available. We have the Llama 3.1 70 billion models available, and this lists out all the models that are available, right? So you can see there is a Llama 3 Grok version 70 billion tool use preview. There's a Whisper large v3 model available. So these are all the models that are available through Grok. Now let's just say you want to use, so let me just show you. We I think we use this model right now. Let's say you wanted to use Llama 3.1 8 billion parameters instant. All we have to do is just come here, change the name of the model, and we'll run this. The last model took like half a second. Let's see how long this one took. It took like 0.92 seconds to respond, right? So we are talking about a much larger model here. This is a Llama 3.1 more latest model. But let's say if I want to take the Llama 3.7 3.1 70 billion parameters, let's see how long will that model take, right? So um, I'm making a call with the 70 billion parameter model now. Let's see how long that takes, and it took 2.7 seconds, right? So this is a significantly larger model, and even with that, it took like 2.7 seconds only. It is not taking like a few. Uh, with other LLMs, I have seen it go up to like 20 seconds, 30 seconds. This is like significantly faster, guys. I don't know if you have observed this till now or not, but I highly recommend that you play around with few other models, and you will realize what I'm talking about, right? So now let's say what I want to do is I want to quickly demo how you can download a YouTube video, and then whatever is the MP4, we want to then send it to Whisper, right? So we see that Whisper is also available. So Whisper is the model that OpenAI has, and it is available as an open source model, so you can even host it on your own system. Grok has done probably the same thing, and they have done the same thing, and they have just exposed the endpoint to us, right? And they claim that this is going to be 100x faster, 172x faster. And I did limited tests, and I can tell you it was damn fast, right? So it was super fast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first install a few libraries. So for this, what we'll need is we'll need pip install yt-dlp. This is the library I'm going to make use of to install ytdl, which is YouTube downloads. And from there, then we are going to make a call to Grok, right? So I'll actually also install Grok. I think we have not installed Grok. Um I'll just restart the runtime. Um so I'm restarting the runtime. Once the runtime is restarted, failed to execute. Okay, no problem. Um, I'm just going to rerun everything, so that all the previous tasks are cleared out. It won't take much time. But what we are doing here is, and now while it is doing, let's just come back here to Grok, and you can see, it's just telling you that if you had to pay, how much you would have paid till now with all the things that you have used. You would have paid. I would have paid like 1 cent so far, and I've been playing around a little bit, and it also shows you what kind of costs you are encountering in which model. So I use Mixtral 8 7B model, hardly any cost, right? So on Whisper Large 3005525, right? So then on the activities, it even tells you how many activities you have made through which key, which keys have made what kind of activities, how many tokens have got used, all of that it shows you, right? And you can even set limits if you want to, that hey, what is the it you don't set limits, it shows you what kind of limits you are the rate limits for your organization, what limits you have to honor. I can only do 2000 requests per day or 20 requests per minute for Whisper Large 3, or 7200 audio seconds per hour. So yeah, so these are the kind of limits. Now let's just come back to our code window. My requirements are all done, and now what we'll do is we'll just take a URL. I'm going to take some URL. Let me just see what URL it is. Um, so it is to Jamu. So let's just go through this. So I'm going to say URL is equal to, we'll make use of this URL. It's some music file. And this is like, I'm largely doing this just to show you the capabilities here, not because I want to largely run any transcription right now, right? So it's mostly to show you what kind of capabilities exist. ydl.download URL. Let's just run this. This should download the URL and save this file here locally, right? So all of this, it is done. We'll just copy the path. Now that I have copied the path, I'm going to say file is equal to file path is this. This is the .web m file which Whisper supports. So I'm just going to use this file, and we are now going to come back and say, hey, um, I'm just pasting the code in the interest of time. So what I'm doing here is I'm importing from Grok. Then I'm setting up a client by passing in my API key. And we have a method here which is called transcribe audio, right? So transcribe audio takes the file path, the same file path that we have above. We are going to pass it to transcribe audio, and it is going to open the file, and then it is going to send that file to the Grok endpoint for Whisper Large 3, right? We are specifying that we want the response format as a text. So I'm just removing that. Start time, we have transcribe audio file path, end time, and now let's just see, right? So I'm going to run this, and let's see how long it takes, right? So it took like 2.2 seconds for a song, which is, let me just take the URL, go to YouTube. Um, I'm not on a paid subscription, so it wants me to actually see the ad, right? And okay, sure, I'll look at the ad. But while the ad is playing, what the larger point is, it just took 2.2 seconds to transcribe the entire thing, and this is a 3 minute 14-second song. If you look at it, right? So this is a 3 minute 14-second song. If you have larger files, maybe like podcasts, this you can actually run through this, and you can see what kind of outputs you are getting. So this was it, guys. Today's objective was very, very simple. I wanted to walk you through what kind of things you can do with Grok. I suggest you go through it, you start playing around. This is free as of now, so make use of it. If you have, like, and with the kind of costs they are projecting on their system, I feel that this will be a big one as far as the cost savings and the cost structures of open source models is going to be concerned, right? So they also had the latest Llama 3 405 billion parameter model, but they have taken it down. There was some challenge with the cost. With the there was some infra challenge. They have taken it down. I hope they bring it back. Right now they have taken it down. So this was it, guys. I hope you learned something new. If you did, do like, subscribe, comment. That gives me signals of what you are liking, what you want me to work on. And thank you so much for your time, and have a good one. Cheers.